Hello everyone, myself Dr. N. Srinivas, Associate Professor in the Department of ECE, Lakshman Reddy Institute of Technology and Management, Autonomous Institution. Sorry. Today I am here to discuss Fourier transforms of arbitrary signals. Okay. So in the previous lecture we have already discussed how to derive a Fourier transform from Fourier series that we have seen. Now we'll discuss. Okay, here what we will discuss and see Fourier transform of arbitrary signals, right? Of the second part. This is the second part of Unit 2. Same BP Lati textbook we will follow for this. Right, our aim is to discuss this Fourier transform of arbitrary signals. Lecture 11, Fourier transform of arbitrary signals. And also we'll discuss Dirichlet's conditions. Like in Fourier series, already we discussed Dirichlet's conditions. So here also we discuss for Fourier transform because Fourier transform also be uh, okay convergent. So how to convergent this Fourier transform? If the aperiodic signal, see particularly where Fourier transform is using for aperiodic signals, right? So for these aperiodic signals, what are the conditions are there for making Fourier transform is convergent? So these things will be also discussed in this lecture. Dirichlet's conditions for Fourier transform. The Fourier transform exists if the signal x of t satisfies some conditions. These conditions are called Dirichlet's conditions. Number one, single valued property. Already we have discussed these points, but again we are discussing for Fourier transform. The signal x of t must have only one value at any time. At any time, instant over a finite time interval t, signal must have one value. See, if the signal follows this condition, then only we can apply Fourier transform. Fourier transform can be existed. And the second condition is finite discontinuities. The signal x of t should have at the most finite number of discontinuities over a finite time interval. Right? That is the second one. Third one is what? Finite peaks. The signal x of t should be have finite number of maxima and minima over a finite time interval t. Finite maximum values, finite minimum values must be there. Absolute integrability. The signal x of t should be absolutely integrable. That is integration minus infinity infinity mod of x of t dt less than infinity. The above conditions are sufficient but not necessary conditions. Now we'll see discrete time Fourier transformation. Up to now we have seen continuous time case, but we'll see discrete time Fourier transforms. The discrete time Fourier transform or Fourier transform of a discrete time sequence x of n, right? So here what is that exponential sequence is e power j omega n. So discrete time discrete time Fourier transform of x of n is given by x of omega summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n e power minus j omega n. In case of continuous, we will have integrations here, and instead of x of n, we will take x of t and e power minus j omega t dt will take in case of continuous time. But here we will take summation x of n here minus j omega n. This is the discrete time Fourier transform of the given signal x of n. Here x of omega is a complex function of real frequency variable omega, and it can be written as x of omega is equal to x of real part plus j into x of imaginary part. So I can write x of omega is equal to under root real part square plus imaginary part square. Right? We need to express after getting Fourier transform. You need to express in that form of real and imaginary. This is nothing but magnitude. This is nothing but magnitude. Am I right? Now, what is the phase? Imaginary tan inverse of imaginary part by real part, right? So, and x of omega can also be represented as x of omega is equal to x of omega into e power j into theta of omega. Theta of omega is equal to augment of x of omega. So, x of omega and theta of omega are called magnitude and phase spectrum of x of omega. This is the phase spectrum, this is magnitude spectrum, right? So inverse discrete time Fourier transform is nothing but this. X of n is equal to 1 by 2 pi integral minus pi to pi x of omega e power j omega and d omega. Here integration is there in case of inverse discrete time Fourier transform. Now what is the convergence condition? The infinite series in equation 1 may be converges or may not. X of n is absolutely summable when summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity mod x of n less than infinity. An absolutely summable sequence has always a finite energy, but a finite energy sequence is not necessary to be a absolute summable. The statement is correct. Okay. Now, our aim is Fourier transform of arbitrary signals. We will take first impulse function delta of t. Impulse function delta of t we will take. Now we will apply Fourier transform. Now again we find what is the magnitude and what is the phase of the signal delta of t. Okay, will do? Yes, we follow. Now what is delta of t? Delta of t is equal to 1 for t is equal to 0 is equal to 0 for t not equal to 0. Fourier transform of x of t is equal to x of omega integral minus infinity to infinity x of t e power minus j omega. This is the equation Fourier transform for continuous time signal. Okay na? So x of omega is equal to integral minus infinity to infinity x of t e power minus j omega t dt. Now substitute what is x of t. Also you can go for limits, substituting the limits. So infinity minus infinity delta of t x of t is delta of t e power minus j omega t dt. Now integration is and what is that? T is equal to 0, 1, right? T is equal to 0, 1. What are the limits? No limits. At t is equal to 0, only simply we are substituting. So delta of 0 into e power minus j omega 0, then you will get a 1. Now tell me, what is the Fourier transform of delta of t? It is nothing but 1. Fine. So I can, in shorthand notations, I can represent like this. Delta of t, Fourier transform is 1. Now, what is the magnitude? 1 for all omega. What is the angle? 0 because this is the real part. No imaginary part. This is 0. Okay, for all omega. Fine. Next, this is delta of t impulse signal, and this is magnitude of the delta of t, and this is angle phase of the delta of t. So what is here? Omega. What is here? Omega. What is here? Time. Means original signal time axis is time. After converting into Fourier transform, what is the axis? Frequency, angular frequency omega or f, right? See here, this is the mod of x of omega is equal to what? 1. So for all values of 1 from here, what is the value? 1 constant. And for omega, what is that? 0 for all omega, the value is 0 only. Right? 0. Sorry, here, 0. Fine. So similarly, Fourier transform of delta of t minus t naught. This is shifted version of delta of t. So what is the shift shifted by t naught? So integral minus infinity to infinity. This is x of t. So delta of t minus t naught, and this is same as it is as per the definition. So e power minus j omega t naught. That's it. So here t naught is there na? That is coming here. And delta of t minus t naught Fourier transform is e power minus j omega t naught. Now second signal will take exponential function, single-sided real exponential function. So what is that? E power minus 8 into e of t. So this is single-sided, only one-sided. So this is positive. This is positive. This is a. Okay, this is a. So this is positive. This is t. Okay, positive. This is positive signal. Okay. Next, we know how to express u of t, 1 for t greater than or equal to 0, 0 for t less than 0. So x of omega is equal to Fourier transform of x of t is this. We know formula. This is j. This is j. Okay. And e power minus 80 u of t is equal to this integral e power minus 80 omega u of t into e power minus j omega t. So this is nothing but this. And finally, this value is 1. So delta of t, and minus infinity to plus infinity becomes 0 to infinity because of positive. Okay. Next, after getting this, substitute limits 0 to infinity, then you will get finally like this. Now, e power minus 80 u of t Fourier transform is 1 by a plus j omega. Now I would like to find what is the magnitude and phase. So for that, to find magnitude and phase spectrum, rationalizing the denominator. So e power e minus j omega by, you can, sorry, 1 by a plus j omega into e power minus j omega by e power a minus j omega. 1 by a plus j omega into a minus j omega by a minus j omega, rationalizing. So find that from this you can write a by a square plus b square minus j into omega by a square plus b square. Now magnitude is under root real part of whole square plus imaginary part square. So you'll get like this. Now angle, finally what is the magnitude? This. What is the angle or phase? This for all omega you can plot. So x of t e power minus a t ut, this is the original signal, and the magnitude is like this. Magnitude is like this for each and every omega, and this is the phase of the signal, given signal. Okay, understood? Fine. Now, thank you all of you for the listening, and if you get any doubt, you can contact me. This is my mail ID, srinivas.nalagonda at mlritm.ac.in. Thank you all once again. Have a nice day. Wish you all the best.